A Dane County deputy who shot and killed a man will not face charges, what the district attorney's office concluded in the case.
Also, as rent prices continue to rise, what tenants can do to protect themselves and stay in their homes.
And a UW study looking into Alzheimer's disease, specifically in Black adults, what researchers are hoping to achieve. Welcome to News 3 Now at 6. 6 more weeks of winter it is. That's after both Punxsutawney Phil and Sun Prairie's own Jimmy the Groundhog reportedly saw their shadows this morning, predicting a longer winter.
That's so disappointing, and those two may be onto something. With how temperatures are looking tonight, alert day is in effect for bitterly cold temperatures and wind chills below zero. Let's check the first warn forecast now with Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti. Gary?
You actually had to go to a groundhog to figure that out. It is cold out here and getting colder. Jimmy's right onto something here. Let's start out by taking a look at the time lapse from the WISC-TV Skycam. Clear skies. Jimmy was certainly able to see his shadow all day today, right through sunset. Hardly a cloud to be found in the sky, but temperatures are cold enough for snow across the upper Midwest. Just seeing some flurries on the other side of Lake Michigan. Cold front came through with not even any clouds here. High temperatures made it up into the upper 20s. 27 in Madison. Janesville hit 28 degrees, but to the north and west, temperatures were closer to 20. And look where those temperatures are now. Here in Madison, we've dropped to 14 degrees, but it's already in the single digits to our north and to our west. And you look across Dane County, you can see those temperatures ranging from 21 in Edgerton down to about 16 in Cross Plains and 16 in Mount Horeb. But across the rest of southern Wisconsin, notice those wind chills already below zero north and west of the Wisconsin River, and those wind chills will continue to fall as temperatures drop and the winds pick up. Wind chill advisories are in effect for all of southern Wisconsin for tonight through much of tomorrow morning. Here in Madison for this evening, look for clear skies. Temperatures dropping from that 14 down to 2 by 10 o'clock with wind chills down to 20 below zero by late evening, but it'll be even colder than that overnight. We do have that alert day in the forecast through tomorrow. I'll tell you how cold it'll get, how cold it'll feel, and when we'll warm up in just a few minutes.
Gary, thank you, and stay up to date on the weather with our First Warn Forecast weather app, hourly forecasts, road conditions, and the latest radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC Weather.
The Dane County District Attorney's Office has concluded a deputy who fatally shot a man at a hotel last October will not be criminally charged for his death. The shooting happened at the Super 8 Hotel on Lake Circle shortly after Deputy Cody Woods spotted a pickup truck that had been reported stolen. Our Catherine Merck has more and walks us through the video of the incident that was just released by the DOJ. Catherine?
The DA's office said it has reviewed evidence in the shooting and determined there is no potential criminal court liability for the deputy involved in this video. We aren't showing you everything because some of what's in this video is too graphic to show. In Deputy Cody Woods' body camera video, we see the moments before, during, and after he shot Campbell. From the new information released by the DA's office today, we learned that Woods saw the pickup truck that had been reported as stolen and told the 3 people inside it, including Campbell, to put the truck in park. Campbell appeared to be getting out of the vehicle before moving back behind the wheel and speeding away while Woods was standing at the front of the truck. It was at that point Woods fired a single shot through the driver's side window, hitting Campbell as he drove away. Campbell drove the truck around to the back side of the hotel before stopping in the ditch, where he was met by officers, and he later died at a hospital from his injuries. The Dane County Sheriff's Office says it's now starting its own administrative review of the incident. Woods is still on leave as that review goes on.
We've received word tonight that a Madison police officer has resigned after he was charged last November with disorderly conduct after allegedly fighting with a woman at a restaurant. With his resignation, Madison police have closed their own internal investigation into what happened. The criminal case goes on. He's set for a pre-trial conference next month. Police officials tell us his resignation became effective on January 20th. He was one of 3 officers arrested in a 2-week time frame for unrelated incidents. Madison police say a bank on the city's north side has been robbed for a second time in a week. Officers were called to the UW Credit Union on Northport Drive just before 11 o'clock today. A teller reported the suspect passed a note demanding money. The suspect did not show a weapon, but got away with an undisclosed amount of cash. Last Thursday, a suspect did the same thing. Police have yet to provide a description of the suspect in either case.
Madison police are investigating reports of several gunshots on the city's north side overnight. Police were called to a neighborhood on Brentwood Parkway, that's near Warner Park, just after 4:30 this morning. One person reported being injured by flying glass when the bullet came into their home. 2 other adults and a child were in the home at the time of the shooting but were not injured. Police say no arrests have been made. The investigation continues. In Rock County, a woman is dead after being found unresponsive in her jail cell. She was found about 1:15 this morning during a routine security check. Life-saving measures were reportedly attempted, but paramedics determined she had died. An autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow now to determine cause of death.
Across Wisconsin, about 2,000 people every month are getting an eviction filing in court. As Naomi Coles explains, in some cases, it's after just a 5-day eviction notice.
Charlotte, filings are back near pre-pandemic levels after the national moratorium put evictions on hold that was early in the pandemic. As one tenant in Columbia County recently discovered after failing to re-sign his lease, a warning before an eviction filing, it can be as short as a 5-day notice. A national push from the Biden administration could kickstart changes to even the playing field for renters.
But despite all of the efforts to provide extra funding and even slow down and briefly have a moratorium on evictions, there's still, hundreds of thousands of people facing evictions across the country. There are thousands of people in Wisconsin facing eviction every single year.
I'm showing you how the battle between landlords and tenants over evictions could change. That's under a new federal blueprint for a renter's bill of rights. All of that coming up, renters' rights in Wisconsin. That's tonight at 10 o'clock.
Naomi, thank you. And we're less than 3 weeks away from the primary election that will determine who will move on to the April ballot. But you won't have to wait that long to cast your vote. In-person absentee voting for the February 21st primary begins on Tuesday, February 7th. You don't need to provide a reason for early voting, and the only thing required is an acceptable photo ID. If you need to register to vote or update your voter registration address, you'll also need to bring a proof of residency for your current address. For links to early voting locations and what forms of ID are acceptable, you can head to this story at channel3000.com.
Wisconsin's Supreme Court election is expected to draw national attention. Whoever wins will likely set the direction for issues like abortion. With that comes a lot of money pouring into the race, and more money means a lot more ad spending. Candidates have already started blanketing the airwaves with TV ads. So why all the attention on an off-year spring election? J.R. Ross from WISCPolitics.com explains.
Believe it or not, this is the only kind of big race in the nation this year. Yes, there are governor's races in places like Louisiana. Those aren't swing states. If you're a national group that wants to try out, your latest GOT, get out the vote effort, you're looking at Wisconsin.
National groups may also spend big in this race. If we compare this year to the campaign 3 years ago, the top 2 candidates, Jill Karofsky and Dan Kelly, had spent about $460,000 at this point in the race. That's for their entire campaign. Compare that to one of the liberal candidates in the race this year who's promising to spend 1.5 times that on ads alone.
21% of black Americans over the age of 70 are living with Alzheimer's. In fact, black adults are twice as likely as white Americans to develop Alzheimer's, but when it comes to Alzheimer's research, black Americans are still underrepresented. Our Braden Ross spoke to researchers in one UW study who are trying to change that. Braden?
Yeah, this study is focused on finding a cure for Alzheimer's and doing it for everyone.
African Americans lead in Alzheimer's disease, and yet in terms of being participants in the research, our numbers are very small.
It's a problem a study from UW-Madison wants to solve.
If we're not a part of the trial, then we're not going to be a part of the cure.
Instead of just focusing on finding a cure for Alzheimer's, it's also focused on inclusivity.
It was to specifically target African Americans because there's so many who are victimized by the disease.
Dr. Fabu Carter is a recruiter for the study. She says diversity in research is vital, and she works hard to recruit African Americans to the study. But a traumatic collective history can make that task a challenge.
There are historical and real reasons for the distrust.
In 1932, the U.S. government began a study of black men with syphilis at the Tuskegee Institute in Macon, Alabama. Researchers did not tell participants they had the disease, and for the next 50 years allowed them to go untreated, even as treatments were becoming widely available. It's one of many similar stories that Black Americans have not forgotten.
Many Black Americans just still feel that they're not the concerns that they have are not given credence.
Diane Milner, Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at the Alzheimer's Association in Wisconsin, says more diversity in researchers goes a long way.
If they can talk to someone in the medical field that looks like them, I think that makes a huge step in the right direction.
Ultimately, Carter says people want to help.
Precious memories are devastating to lose.
Dr. Carter told me the study already has around 400 participants and is still actively recruiting.
We have an update to the elementary school in Jefferson that was closed today over water main issues. The district says the school will also be closed tomorrow as repairs and cleanup continue. They plan to reopen on Monday, but encourage students to bring their own water bottles from home. If they are unable to, the district will be providing bottled water until the new water pipe passes inspection. Coming up, thousands of pounds of canned meat are the latest products being recalled. We'll have the reason why.
Also, finding an alternative fuel for aviation. How the Wisconsin Energy Institute says new technologies could benefit Wisconsin.
It's the Hy-Vee Mega Meat Sale this Friday through Sunday. Fresh ground chuck, just $1.99 a pound. Chicken leg quarters, just 59 cents a pound when you buy a 10-pound bag. And Farmland Deli Sliced Ham, only $1.99 a pound. Only at Hy-Vee.
This year, say yes.
I couldn't be more thrilled with my results. I'm over the moon happy. Look at that waist.
Yes to confidence.
I'm so happy. I just put this dress on that I haven't worn in over 10 years.
Yes to a new shape.
These are my results. I am so happy.
Yes to a new you.
I'm Dr. Elena Vega. Imagine you could remove this much fat from multiple areas all at one time.
Sono Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells for good.
I have the flattest tummy that I've had in 25 years.
I'm able to wear things that I never thought I would wear again.
I can wear a little black dress. I feel sexy.
Find out how you can get $250 off with our New Year exclusive offer. Call 1-800-993-0752 or go to sonobello.com.
Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
Don't miss the Hy-Vee Mega Meat Sale this Friday through Sunday. Hy-Vee Choice Reserve Sirloins, just $3.99. Boneless half pork loin, just $1.88 a pound. And Hy-Vee Choice Reserve Top Round Roast, only $2.77 a pound. Only at Hy-Vee.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. ConAgra is recalling more than 2.5 million pounds of canned meat. That recall covers various brands of Vienna sausage and potted meat products like these. According to the Department of Agriculture, a packaging defect can allow the products to become contaminated. The affected canned meat was produced between December 12th of last year and January 13th. It was sold nationwide. Those cans would have the establishment number P4247. Consumers are advised not to eat those products, instead throw them away or return them to the store.
The Wisconsin Energy Institute is looking for ways to meet the growing demand for alternatives to petroleum-based fuel and other chemicals. Today, they held an event where researchers and industry leaders presented an overview of sustainable aviation fuels. Decarbonizing aviation has been one of the biggest challenges in the fight to slow climate change.
These are processes that would need to be done close to where the residues are produced. So that means a state like Wisconsin could be the host for refineries that generate these fuels locally within 50 or 100 miles of where the ag residues are produced.
That would mean farmers could get extra economic benefit from these activities and make Wisconsin a major player in a multi-trillion-dollar industry. This is the third in a series of workshops designed to lay the groundwork for the development of a circular, bio-based economy that could help cut carbon pollution, create jobs, and promote rural economic development.
When we come back, the movie Groundhog Day was almost shot in Wisconsin, the reason why it was ultimately not chosen.
And have you ever felt like you're trapped repeating the same day over and over and over again? One psychologist says you can break that feeling.
Plus, Gary breaks down tonight's Alert Day, your complete forecast after a short break.
Hey, I just got a text from my sister. You remember Rick, her neighbor?
Sure. He's the 76-year-old guy who still runs marathons, right?
Sadly, not anymore.
What? You mean...
Mm-hmm. Just like that.
Wow. So sudden. We're not about to have the we need life insurance conversation again, are we?
No, we're having the we're getting coverage so we don't have to worry about it conversation.
So you're calling about the $9.95 a month plan from Colonial Penn?
I am. We put it off long enough. We are getting that $9.95 plan today.
Is it time for you to call about the $9.95 plan? I'm Jonathan from Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company. Sometimes we just need a reminder not to take today for granted. It could be the death of someone you know or a health scare. That's why today could be a great day to call for free information about Colonial Penn's $9.95 plan. If you're age 50 to 85, you can get guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance starting at just $9.95 a month. There are no health questions, so you can't be turned down for any health reason. This is permanent coverage. Just pay your premiums for lifelong security. The $9.95 plan is Colonial Penn's #1 most popular whole life plan. Options start at just $9.95 a month. That's less than 35 cents a day. Your rate can never go up. It's locked in for life. Don't put it off. Take the first easy step. Call today for free information. And you'll also get this free beneficiary planner. So call now.
Call 1-800-290-3399 for your free information and free gift. That's 1-800-290-3399. There's no risk or obligation. That number again is 1-800-290-3399. 1-800-290-3399. Call now.
Hello, Colonial Penn?
Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. Did you know there's a thing called Groundhog Day syndrome? It may not be an official medical diagnosis, but it is the term some use to describe that feeling that you're reliving the same day over and over again. Cleveland Clinic psychologist Susan Albers says when we do the same things over and over again, we can get bored and you may even feel trapped.
We get used to our environment and we start tuning it out. On the upside, this helps our brain to relax. We don't have to focus on everything. The downside is that we no longer experience things in the same way. It becomes less vivid and exciting.
Albert says breaking the boring cycle starts with being mindful. So try new things, meet new people, taste a new food, learn a new skill, or take a trip somewhere you haven't been.
Well, speaking of Groundhog Day, did you know the movie was almost filmed in Baraboo? Bob Hutchins, who was the location manager for the film, was in charge of finding a city for the movie.
We ended up going through middle of Wisconsin in Baraboo, of all places, which whimsical is the big word for Baraboo.
Yeah.
And so it's a town square. And Harold actually, we had lunch on the square, and then we walked around the square once, walked around again. Then Harold turned to me and said, "Hey, is there a town square closer to Chicago?"
Well, the director, Harold Ramis, wanted to be closer to Chicago in order to be closer to his family. And by the way, this year, the movie Groundhog Day is celebrating its 30th anniversary. Bone-chilling temperatures are on the way. on Gary's favorite day of the year. Gary?
Yeah, Woodstock, Illinois has Woodstock Willie, and he also saw a shadow too. So I think it's unanimous from all the area groundhogs. It's going to be another 6 weeks of winter. Take a look at future track wind chills beginning early tomorrow morning, or actually about midnight tonight, down to 24 below zero here in Madison. Most of Wisconsin seeing wind chills between about 20 and 35 degrees below zero. Early tomorrow morning, Marshfield close to 40 below zero. Same thing with Rhinelander. That is just bone-chilling cold. But even during the day tomorrow, noon tomorrow, we're still looking at wind chills in Madison colder than 10 below zero. And by late afternoon, we're still looking at those wind chills staying below zero. Probably have to wait until early Saturday morning when air temperatures get up into the teens, winds start picking up out of the south, that wind chills get back to around zero and then stay above zero as actual air temperatures climb above zero for much of the weekend. In fact, wind chill advisories in effect for all of Wisconsin as well as parts of northern Illinois, northern Iowa, all of Minnesota except for the northeast where there are wind chill warnings for wind chills of 40 below zero or colder. Our alert day remains in the forecast for late tonight through tomorrow for those early morning wind chills as cold as 30 below zero, but even during the day tomorrow, those wind chills staying 5 below zero or colder. Good news is on the horizon, though. After that 4-degree high temperature that we're predicting for Friday, we're back up to 33 on Saturday. Here's the average high temperature now starting to go up from 27 up to 29 degrees. But take a look at the high temperatures for the rest of the weekend and through next week. Above normal every single day. And the 8 to 14-day temperature outlook from the Climate Prediction Center calling for above normal temperatures with the highest probabilities from Madison eastward. The western part of the country, colder than normal. And above normal precipitation as we're in an active weather pattern. But some of that precipitation will be in the form of rain because those temperatures will be in the upper 30s. Right now, the jet stream coming in from the northwest. That's why we've got the cold air here. But notice the jet stream pushing up to the north as a big storm system heads toward the west coast. That will change the overall weather pattern. So the west will turn cold and stormy. The east will start to turn warmer as we head toward the weekend, but still have to get through tomorrow. The bulk of the cold air just north of the U.S.-Canadian border. It'll slide right across Wisconsin. But the cold front that came through and is already out to the east of us becomes a warm front out to the west, and that's what will move in here starting tomorrow night and into Saturday. Temperatures actually start to rise tomorrow night. But right now, clear skies across much of Wisconsin. Temperatures range from 22 in Milwaukee to 5 below zero in Superior, where wind chills are already down into the mid-20s below zero. Look for that wind chill advisory overnight through much of the morning tomorrow for all of southern Wisconsin. Planning your night, low of 11 below zero in Middleton, 9 below zero in Fitchburg, 9 below zero in Waunakee. Clear skies across all of southern Wisconsin. Low of 7 below zero in Janesville, 11 below zero in Lone Rock, and 11 below zero in Platteville. For tomorrow, skies partly sunny, but it'll be bitterly cold. The high of only 4 degrees. Wind chills during the day from 5 to 15 below zero. Future track wind chills, again, right after midnight, mid-20s below zero, close to 30 below zero by early tomorrow morning. During the day, they stay in the single digits and teens below zero, but there's improvement on the way after that. Up to 33 Saturday, 34 Sunday. Rain showers late Monday with a high of 38, and those high temperatures staying in the mid to upper 30s. Chances for rain or snow showers, but no major storm systems are expected for next week.
And coming up in sports, Ben Sheets headed to the Brewers' Walk of Fame. The numbers he put up on the mound in Milwaukee are next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
A prosecutor, now Circuit Court Judge, Janet Protasewicz.
On the Supreme Court, I'll be a common sense judge. I'll protect public safety. I believe in a woman's freedom to make her own decision on abortion. It's time for a change.
Non-attorney spokesperson. This is a paid advertisement for legal services sponsored by Nightline Legal. Cases assigned on a random basis to participating law firms. If you or a loved one were stationed at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987 and were later diagnosed with cancer, Parkinson's disease, or other serious health effects, call right now.
Call 1-800-336-0524.
Wisconsin. It's easy to take for granted how we warm up. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? For many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
The biggest and best RV event in the Midwest is back. It's the Madison Camper and RV Show and Sale. See a huge selection of RVs, camping equipment, and campgrounds, all under one roof. Meet Gilbert Brown, Gridiron Great. Tickets are just $10 and kids are free. Seniors, you're welcome at half price on Friday. Experience the great outdoors at the Alliant Energy Center, Friday through Sunday, February 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
Do you feel stuck living in a cold and drafty home? Well, there's a better solution than just turning up the heat. Because heating your home is by far the most expensive part of your energy bills. At USA Insulation, we fix cold homes. Most houses are built with builder's grade insulation. So when we fill your walls with our high efficiency foam, your house stays warm without turning up the heat, which saves you a lot of money. So call now and save up to 30% with the brand new energy credit.
USA Insulation. I'm voting for Judge Janet Protasewicz for Supreme Court.
She believes in our freedom to make our own decisions when it comes to abortion.
Extremists want to ban abortion,
even in cases of rape and the health of the mother.
Judge Janet Protasewicz is the change Wisconsin needs.
The bitter cold brings us another alert day. Tomorrow, I'll tell you how long the deep freeze will last.
And are you ready for ice cream for breakfast day?
A local business creates a sweet menu to celebrate, and we've got the scoop tomorrow from 4:30 to 7.
The Milwaukee Brewers will be honoring one of the best pitchers in franchise history during the upcoming season. The club announced that Ben Sheets will be enshrined in the team's Walk of Fame. Sheets spent 8 seasons in Milwaukee, where he was a 4-time All-Star and struck out a franchise record 18 batters in 1 game. He ranks 2nd on the Brewers' all-time list in strikeouts and 6th in wins. Go to a McFarland girls basketball game and you'll notice Sarah Mullaney and her coaching staff wearing the same shirt. And it's not just coaching attire. It's a reminder that what her Spartans are doing on and off the court isn't because of luck. It's a product of hard work.
Every time McFarland steps on the court,
this year's special because we have something to prove.
They're there to work.
71! We're up 40, down 40. We're going to play till that final buzzer, and we're going to give everything we have.
That mentality comes from a T-shirt.
I guess it's just a visual reminder to know that, you come in every day and everything's earned, nothing's going to be given to you.
That Sarah Mullaney and her coaching staff wear.
We don't like the saying is she's lucky. We like the saying that, yeah, you've put in a lot of work, you continue to do a lot of work, you work as a team, and that's who we are.
Sure,
all right, go.
This group is talented, but the Spartans have earned their success by working hard.
It's really easy to stigmatize people who are good, and you're just well, they just are gifted like that. But each and every girl in this gym, we work for what we have.
You see when they're under the lights and in the big games, but you don't see all the work that they do when people aren't around.
And that's part of Mullaney's game plan for life.
Let's get our space! Defense, where are we?
The shirt is just the bigger picture. There's so many little things that people don't see in practice and games, in the locker room, that, she's honest about being a better person than we are a player.
Because her girls aren't so lucky.
We really work hard to get the girls to understand you can work for anything in life and to build that confidence.
Her girls work so hard.
Hey, Hallie, that's a great look!
And don't forget to nominate your coach to be the next Coach of the Week. Just click on Coach of the Week in the Sports tab on our website and fill out the nomination form or shoot me an email. Badgers and Buckeyes going at it right now. Wisconsin desperately needs a win.
Got to turn it around. All right, we'll update that tonight. Gary, final check.
We desperately need to get out of this bitter cold right now. Live view from the Edgewater Sky Camp. Clear skies here. Temperatures across Dane County in the middle teens. Across the rest of southern Wisconsin, they're already in the single digits out toward La Crosse. And wind chills are below 0 to our north and west. Wind chill advisory across all of southern Wisconsin for tonight. Temperatures down 2 by 10 p.m.
All right, Gary, thank you. And thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Have a great evening, and we'll see you back here at 10.